Your next witness.
Your Honor, we call Dr. Alan Blaustein,
All right.
Blaustein.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, and I'm asking questions first. I believe I may be the only one asking questions in
All
this
right.
matter.
All right. Thank you.
Can you please provide your full name?
Alan Scott Blaustein.
You're a doctor, correct?
Correct.
And you're a psychiatrist?
Yes.
How long have you been a psychiatrist for?
Since 1987.
And you went to medical school?
Yes.
What medical school did you go to?
Northwestern University.
Now, Johnny Depp was a patient of yours, correct?
Correct.
You understood that Mr. Depp had substance dependence issues, is that correct?
Yes.
Do you recall what substance issues, what substances Mr. Depp had issues with?
Marijuana, alcohol, opiates, I believe.
Did you ever have an understanding that Mr. Depp had anxiety syndrome?
I knew Mr. Depp had anxiety.
And how did you come to be aware that Mr. Depp had anxiety?
She told me that.
Do you recall having any conversation that Mr. Depp was bipolar?
There was some question about bipolar disorder diagnosis, but I do not remember any specifics about the discussion.
Do you recall having a conversation with Mr. Depp about a bipolar diagnosis?
No.
What behaviors did Mr. Depp acknowledge that should be changed?
Certainly his drug use and his turning to drugs to help relieve a lot of the psychic pain that he was experiencing.
In working with Mr. Depp, would you agree that Mr. Depp had fundamental issues with anger?
I would say that he expressed having issues with anger.
Mr. Depp expressed having issues with anger?
Yes.
Did Mr. Depp express having issues of anger towards Amber?
He expressed having anger towards her. Yes.
Do you recall what reasons Mr. Depp told you as to why he was expressing anger towards Amber?
I can't, no, I'll have to say no.
In working with Mr. Depp, was he ever suspicious of Amber having affairs?
I can recall now he expressed feelings of jealousy. But I don't remember if it was about affairs.
Do you recall any more detail about what Mr. Depp was feeling jealousy toward Amber about?
No.
In working with Mr. Depp, did you see that Mr. Depp had any issues with patients?
Yes, he was impatient.
What is your understanding about issues that Mr. Depp had with Amber?
It was a very chaotic relationship with a lot of fluctuations and ups and downs and lots of difficulty in emotional expressions and lots of anger in both places and high intensity affect and emotional expression. A lot of love, a lot of disappointment, a lot of fears.
Dr. Blaustein, I'm showing you what's been marked as Blaustein Exhibit 3. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
What is it?
It's my invoice billing document.
This is from your files.
Correct.
You keep this document in the ordinary course of business.
Correct.
And this billing invoice is for Johnny Depp, correct?
Correct.
And so where it says 10 to 14 from your billing records, would this be is this your understanding the first time you met with Mr. Depp?
By phone, yes.
And in total, if we look at the number of sessions you either met or spoke to Mr. Depp that weren't canceled or he didn't show up, my count, it comes to 18 times you met with Mr. Depp. Does that sound about right?
Looks like 18 times.
Did you have any concerns about any of the amounts of medications that Mr. Depp was taking?
I had concerns about the Adderall that I would have expressed to him.
And what were the concerns about the Adderall?
I don't recall the specific conversations, but I would have been asking about how he was diagnosed to have ADHD, or under what circumstances he would take that, especially if he wasn't currently working.
Did you ever talk to Mr. Depp about what he did when Marilyn Manson would visit?
No.
When you were working with Mr. Depp, did you have any understanding whether Mr. Depp was still abusing drugs and alcohol or not?
Yes.
But you do recall that there were times in your working with Mr. Depp where he had breakthrough uses of drugs or alcohol?
Yeah, that his relative sobriety was not complete, yes.
And that's what you mean by breakthrough usage, that his sobriety, Mr. Depp's sobriety, was not complete?
Well, relative sobriety. Again, I said relative sobriety because he did continue to use marijuana throughout, almost entirely throughout the time that I knew him, with a short time exception, I think. So I called it relative sobriety. Then there'd be some breakthrough uses of other substances.
Okay. And when you say breakthrough usage, just so everyone understands, what do you mean by that?
He was trying to be sober. He was working on sobriety. And by breakthrough uses, I mean sobriety would mean the abstinence of using the substance. And so the breakthrough would be on a particular time he would have used the substance that he was trying to be sober of, abstinent of.
Okay. So in addition to marijuana, in the time you saw Mr. Depp from October of 2014 through January of 2015, there were times where Mr. Depp broke his sobriety with drugs or alcohol in addition to marijuana, correct?
I believe so, yes.
How did you come to that understanding?
He would have told me.
Do you know why Mr. Depp stopped seeing you?
I know he was preparing to leave to Australia to go to work, and I assumed that was the reason.
But he hasn't returned to you since he went to Australia in 2015, correct?
Right.
And did anyone inform you as to why he stopped seeing you?
No.
Blaustein, Exhibit 9 are notes reflecting your care of Mr. Depp, correct?
Right.
And you kept these notes in the ordinary course of business, correct?
Right.
And you kept these notes in a file for Mr. Depp, correct?
Correct.
And this is page 1 of those notes from October 2nd, 2014, correct?
Correct. Again, there will be plenty of places where I don't remember, I can't read what they say. They are for my current detention purposes only in these particular notes.
Okay.
And that's what makes them process notes.
In working with Mr. Depp, did he discuss any abuse he received as a child or an adolescent?
Yes.
And do you recall any difficulties that Mr. Depp was talking to you about in his relationship with his fiancée?
No, not from this.
What does it say?
Such a pain in the ass.
Do you recall why he was saying Amber was a pain in the ass?
No.
Okay. And what's the next thing say?
Well, in boxes about his kid's mom.
Okay.
And again, I think I have the word destructive.
What was destructive referring to? Do you know?
I don't know. No, I don't. Something relationship 14 to 15 years, mother of my kids. Out of that officially. He didn't want to be his dad. Thinking I'm not abandoning like his dad. And then below kids, it says clear, better. She needed me to be all this. Needed me to be all this week or all this work. I don't know.
Return to the next page. It says page 2.
Yep, got it.
And then what's the next line say?
This violence, rage that we've had over a couple of years.
Okay, and so what is Mr. Depp referring to there?
I don't recall.
So do you recall that in working with Mr. Depp that he spoke about violence and rage in other relationships in addition to his relationship with Amber?
Or rage and chaos. I don't remember violence, but I do remember rage and chaos. Now, again, the context of this is I had met him at this point. So this is an initial telephone consultation. So to see whether or not he was going to start therapy with me.
But in your working with Mr. Depp, was he talking about rage and chaos with relationships in addition to his relationship with Amber, correct?
Yes.
What other relationships was he talking about rage and chaos?
Again, I don't have the specific recollection, but I think it included the mother of his children, and arguments about not child custody, child care, or visitation, or access to the children. On the left, it says raise 2 kids, 15 and 12. And then below that, she tried to protect me. She tried to protect me too.
You know what that's referring to?
My association now is his sister, but I don't think that's true. I don't have a specific recollection, no. Wouldn't take fear, wake up to fight devil. Wait up to fight devil.
You know what that's referring to? Wait up to fight devil?
I think he referred to a devil as some version of internal depression and chaos that he felt. Something like an everyday phenomenon he felt he was struggling. And he, I think, would label it as a devil.
So Mr. Depp labeled as something that was internal to him as the devil?
As a representation of something horrible inside of himself, what I would say.
So the devil was something horrible inside of himself, correct? That's what Mr.
Again, I don't think he ever said that, so I'm going to be careful here. The devil was the representation of the battle that he had many days when he woke up with the depression and anxiety and fears that he had.
Did Mr. Depp ever refer to himself as a monster?
Remember the word monster in my office, but I don't know if it's referring to himself or not. Maybe that'll be more revealed as we go forward.
Now, turning to Blaustein 12, which is page 4 of this exhibit, and there's a 3 at the top, correct?
Yeah,
And then to the right, it says, that says Amber fiance, correct?
correct.
And then there's,
work through anger, just below that.
and where it's saying work through anger, is that referring to his anger towards Amber?
I think what he was saying then is that part of his goal of therapy was to work through anger that he and his fiance had towards each other. Then going back to the left, better with girl about it. Self-destructive, hard to not put in front of me.
Do you know what self-destructive, hard not to put in front of me means? It's referring to?
I think the self-destructive was his drug use. That's what I think referring to at this time.
I'm now looking at Blaustein 13, page, which has a page 4. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And at the top it says Johnny/Debbie, correct?
Correct.
All right. And then the date, it says 10/what?
I think that's 10/7.
And so it says JD 10/21/14, correct?
Correct. A lot of things, work, intense work, fatigue. Need a minute. Here I can say with certainty, his words, shit with my girl.
And what's that referring to?
Difficulty he was having with Amber.
Do you recall what he was talking about, what difficulty he was having with, Mr. Depp was having with Amber?
Yeah.
The next line looks like it says she refuses to accept.
Correct?
Do you know what Amber refuses to accept? What Mr. Depp was referring to?
Nope.
And to the right, it says Amber what?
Amber wedding.
Were you talking at this point about potentially Mr. Depp and Amber marrying?
Yes, he was talking about that, yes.
Okay. And then what does it say under she refuses to accept?
Wedding February.
And then what's next?
May not want to go to marriage, 51 years old.
Were there any discussions that you had with Mr. Depp where he had concerns about the age difference between him and Amber?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. But what does it say under 51 years old?
A lot of life experiences. You're being my mother and psychotic sister.
What did you understand Mr. Depp was referring to where you wrote you're being my mother and psychotic sister?
I think that's something that he told me, he said to her.
That Mr. Depp said to Amber, you're being my mother and psychotic sister?
That's what I would think, yes.
Okay. Then the next line.
High tolerance for marijuana.
Who has a high tolerance for marijuana?
He did.
All right, turning to the next page, which is Blaustein 15, and where I have a number 5 on the top there. What is it? Self-something?
Self-destructive very early.
And was Mr. Depp talking about himself being self-destructive very early?
Yes.
Okay. How is Mr. Depp describing that he was self-destructive?
I think, I don't recall, but let's continue and maybe something's there.
So he was trying to be sober from booze and pills, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then was it you who said reward?
Yeah, asking him about where can he get rewards elsewhere? Where did he get reward? I maybe asked him, where did he get rewards elsewhere? And there he said, in the past, MDMA, ecstasy, cocaine.
So what did you understand where he wrote MDMA, ecstasy, cocaine?
I'm not quite sure, but those are things that he had used in the past. There is another possibility that I had asked him specifically about that, but I don't think so. I think it's more likely that those were things he had used in the past.
Do you know what pills Mr. Depp was referring to be sober from?
I know oxycodone was the main thrust of that time.
And then it says, back to the left, it says left off.
Yeah, and that's probably a note to myself to try to get back to. Left off a reward loop mechanism, and it's parallel to a relationship. What kinds of rewards could come back to him that could be healthy? What kinds of rewards that could come from the relationship that could be healthy? And then talk about biology changes. So I made a note to myself there to talk about how the brain changes in the face of many of these drugs over time.
Did you talk with Mr. Depp at all that his brain can change as he continues to take these drugs?
Yes, I did.
And then it says 10/27/14.
More on relationship issues, being accused, in his word, of being manic, grounded by seeing children. Son is one of the positive aspects of the relationship. I assume he's talking about his past relationship there.
Mr. Depp was saying that Amber reminded him of his mom and his psychotic sister.
The relationship reminded him of his relationship with his psychotic sister and his mother. Yes.
And Mr. Depp talked about that he was being accused of being manic.
Yes.
Did he say who accused him of being manic?
I assume from this it was Amber.
Turn to the next page, Blaustein 16. Yeah, and this is 10/29/14 at the top.
Mm-hmm. The mood euthymia.
What does that mean?
Attention. Normal mood. Attention decreased.
You mean by
memory
attention decreased?
Difficulty with attention, paying attention. Memory, transitional difficulties.
And what do you mean by having transitional difficulties with his memory?
It would have been part of a maybe mental status test that I would have done in the first session, where he would have trouble holding on to memory of things from 5 minutes ago. If I asked him to remember 3 words, he would have had difficulty remembering those 3 words 5 minutes later after distracting him with other conversation.
All right. And then what does it say after that?
THC, a marijuana, as part of issue, tetrahydrocannabinol. That's what THC stands for.
So you saw THC as an issue with Mr. Depp's memory and attention, is that right?
Well, with the transitional memory, at least, yes. Perhaps the attention. MSE, mental status examination. More present, more attention. off on dates. Asked when I would ask him about what today might be, what today's date was, perhaps is what that's referring to.
So Mr. Depp was off on
what date that was.
Date. Turning to the next page, Blaustein 17. It says JD at the top, and then 11, 10, 14. See that?
Yep, I have that.
Okay. And Mr. Depp came in to see you on 11, 10, 14?
Correct.
Okay. And what's the first line say?
Some clouding, probably secondary to THC.
What do you mean by clouding?
Would have been something in confusion or something about his mental state, or less sharp, less alert, perhaps.
What's the next line say?
It says no evidence of mania, hypomania.
What do you mean by that?
I didn't see in his presentation any evidence of mania or hypomania.
Okay. Next line.
Discussion about relationships, core issues of trust. Amber says contact. Don't know.
Okay.
Fruitless meeting with her therapist.
Did you ever observe Mr. Depp with mania or hypomania in any of your other sessions?
Not that I recall.
At 10:24:14, Mr. Depp came in for another individual session, correct?
11:24:14.
The first line says 15 minutes late.
15 minutes late. Clear. Relationship stabilizing. Looking at jealous parts of him.
What do you mean by that, looking at jealous parts of him?
Things that make him jealous and what his role might be in jealousy.
And what made Mr. Depp jealous?
Well, about what was happening there, but with Amber, I don't know. I can't recall. I see in my next notice it was a triggering point. On my next notice, triggering point, early breakup at 22, where an actress cheated with a leading man.
So was Mr. Depp jealous of Amber being with other men?
I don't remember that specifically.
Okay. And turning to Blaustein 18, which looks like it starts at 12:7:14.
Yeah.
Mr. Depp came in for an individual session.
Correct.
And then it looks like you have paranoia in quotes.
Mm-hmm. Would have been his word. And what he meant by that, the elements were fear, envy, and vigilance.
So Mr. Depp told you something about paranoia?
Mm-hmm. Well, as he defined it.
And his elements of paranoia were fear, envy, and vigilance, as he told you. Then there's, what's the next day, 12:18:14?
Yeah, let's see. 12:18:14, yes.
And Mr. Depp came in for a session.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Patient working. So psychotherapy on phone. It says possible it was a phone session that I didn't mark as a phone session. Big fight with girlfriend yesterday. Struggling with how to separate. Let her tell you her feelings. Relationship needs to take care of you. Her to go to a safe zone, withdraw. Different than childhood experiences.
And then it's at 1:6:15, correct?
Correct.
And what are these notes say?
Patient late, 20 minutes. Positive hypnotherapy session. Goals to make a beeline to bed. using relationship to take care of the individuals. Let's see, not logical approach to Amber's work. Take care of emotions. Sobriety continuing.
And then Blaustein 20. Move down to the last page. And this is for 1-8-15, just to be clear.
1-8-15, correct. Slate, vulnerability, woman in studio who admired Amber. Threat.
What did that mean? What did you understand that to mean?
That probably related to your prior question, that there was a woman who admired her that he felt jealous of. Let's see, the next thing is something of vulnerability. Instances of vulnerability and internal fear parallel to vulnerability in childhood. Inability. Free or fight, only way.
What does that mean? Free or fight, only way?
Free or fight, or free and fight is the only way. And my understanding of that is either to be free of the relationship or fight for it. And positive relatedness with Amber through, dash vulnerability.
Did and 1-8-15 was the last time you saw or spoke to Mr. Depp as a patient, correct?
I believe that's true.
Did Mr. Depp describe to you at all how his jealousy would present itself, whether he was jealous of a man or a woman in relation to Amber?
It would make him angry. It would make him feel insecure.